yo, what is going on, faithfuls? It's your boys, Mike and Wayne. I know it's backwards. Hold on, let me fix that. And we are back for another fun-filled episode of the No Harm, No Foul show. Wayne is on the road, and I'm at home. I'm chilling, man. Wayne, I saw some disturbing news today, but before we get to that, I got to ask you how you doing, man. What's going on with you, big dog? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. On my way to work, but feeling good.
So you always on your way to work. That don't even like me. Like I'd be like, "Hey Wayne, what you doing? I'm in bed on my way to work." Like you be working in your dreams. Like you always
Freddy Krueger,
damn
baby. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Like it just don't stop at all, man. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that I heard today. Just a
Okay.
couple of things, right? So I was listening to the John Lynch interview that he did with Chris Sims, and I was listening. I didn't watch it. I was listening. Okay, and one of the things that he said was uh, by the time the off season is over or the beginning of the season is over, the 49ers may be second in spending. Jed York may not like that. And so I was like, well, wait a minute. And I asked y'all, like, hey, like, guys, where are the Niners in spending in 2025? And he said they may be in second. He was like, so while it look good right now, it may not look good by the time this season is all said and done. Um, do you have any idea where where this team ranks currently versus what it would take for them to get to second place in 2025?
I mean, they didn't really spend a lot of money in free agency, so um, I feel like currently they're probably ranked like last in spending. Probably like they didn't really spend any money in free agency. They brought in a few free agents, signed them to
They
minimum 1 to 2 year deals, right?
they did. That is all true. Now, also, I want to remind you that they did get George Kittle extended. So that's
I
a
don't. I really.
you
I don't
know
really count that in spending. But if that's what you count in spending, then okay, cool.
I am just looking at the NFL team salary cash tracker. He was talking about cash when he said this. In
Yeah, that's
2025,
Jay York's money. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
In
mhm.
2025, the Niners are currently ranked 18th. They ranked 18th, bro. In order to get up to second place, they would have to pass Buffalo at 326.
So I mean, that sounds
So
like Brock Purdy's deal and Fred Warner's deal is about to get done.
yeah, because we're currently sitting at 274. So we basically need another 50 million in spending in order to get past second place. Um, so you said Brock Purdy and Fred Warner. Yeah, you all right over there?
Yeah, I would think
Okay.
Brock Purdy and Fred Warner would be the next two cat like where you pay that cash up front and save on the cap. Like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think
I can
those are
see that.
the two players next up for extension, in my opinion.
And so during that interview, Lynch did make it a point to say, um, he did make it a point to say, yes, we are in talks with a couple of other players as far as contract extension goes, and hopefully that gets taken care of sooner rather than later. Also, where did this new mindset come from? Like this is something that we are not used to seeing, right? Fred Warner signing his deal relatively early. I mean, some people say, "Oh, well, you let the what was it, the Cardinals that signed somebody? You let the Cardinals sign a tight end, and you could have got Fred's done before that." But this is still relatively early for the 49ers. Um, is it possible that these two big deals are coming down the pike anytime
Yeah,
soon?
I mean, you figure the Niners took care of the George Kittle deal, right? And so the next veteran they'll probably take care of next will probably be Fred Warner. He'll probably be next. And then I think Brock Purdy's will be the one that caps off the Niners spending as far as like the main deals. They might end up signing some
Right.
other players that are free agents too. Like, you know what I mean? We don't know. But they may end up signing some of those guys as well. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
in the offseason. We don't know how it's gonna go with camp and injuries and things like that. So we'll see. But I think the Niners are set to end up finish second in spending mainly because you're going to extend Fred Warner. He's gonna save you money on the cap. You're gonna give him a deal that's gonna tie him in and lock him in, and then your quarterback. Those are the two biggest things I feel like the Niners still need to get done. They don't have to pay Fred, but I'm not sure what his guarantees are going into this upcoming season.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, but last offseason, or right before the offseason came, they were like, yeah, George Kittle, I think, volunteered. No, was it Fred that volunteered George's money, or was it George that volunteered Fred's money? Remember one of those guys said something like, oh, we would do whatever to get him. They were talking about Miles Garrett. It was in the offseason. And whoever said it, whether it was George that said it about his and Fred's extension, or if it was Fred that said it about his and George's extension, the other person responded like, "Yeah, don't speak for my money." Do you remember? Do you remember this?
Vaguely remember, like vaguely.
Yeah. My point is to say this: we know that whether it was Fred that said it about his and George's money, or George that said it about his and Fred's money, Fred is expecting to get paid this offseason. Based off of just that comment alone, Fred is expecting to get paid this offseason. Now, here, now we got full screen, Wayne. Y'all done messed up now. Y'all done gave that boy, huh? Got the landscape view over there now. That's what I'm talking about. What's the hat you wearing over there? What is that? Is that
Oh,
a
this is my
WV?
yeah, this is my hat right here, man.
Warner Brother. Warner Brother, when you see the popo. No, I'm kidding. All right. So I'm going to bring this up now because it's going to tie into everything that we're talking about. All right. We're trying to figure out where the Niners are spending that money. Again, we're talking about $50 million in cash. That's what we're talking about. I saw this brother with the initials WB, and he tweeted, "The best damn tight end has spoken." And I said, what is he talking about? So I clicked it, and I wanted to read what it says. It's George Kittle on the 49ers offseason. "I'm happy that we don't have a bunch of guys holding out for contracts." Dang, I wish you had your gunshot sound over there. I wish you had. Wayne, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this a disservice right now. It's all right. I'm going to get it, though. I'm going to get it. I'll tell you what will do, though.
Excuse me, bitch.
All right.
I'm glad that we're not having a super drama-filled off season.
Say what?
I think every year of my career, we've had a quarterback controversy at some point, and to not have one, that it's going great. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I read this and I like the shots that he was taking. Right? He said, "All you punk ass divas out there that's been having this team go through the spinner and all the headlines, blah blah blah." He was like, "It's done. It's over. We don't have to deal with that right now." But then he got to this last part. We've had quarterback controversy at some point, and to not have that, it's going great. You don't think we're in the middle of a quarterback controversy? And
No.
if not, then tell me what that means to you. What does quarterback controversy mean?
Well, quarterback controversies, you got quarterbacks in here and they up for that number one spot. But I don't think there's controversy for the number one spot.
So quarterback controversy means quarterback competition.
Partly, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? There's gonna be I don't even think for the number two spot there's competition. So I don't see there being I don't see there being any controversy. The Niners got Brock Purdy, they're gonna pay him, and then the Niners signed Sam Darnold to a cheap deal. Boom, boom, boom. That's your backup right there. Whatever they get from the quarterback they drafted, if he plays this year or Tanner Mordecai, we'll see. But there's no controversy whatsoever. So I think I kind of understand I definitely understand what Kittle was saying because if you go back to his rookie year, it was trash. And and then they got Jimmy Garoppolo, and then he was the guy, and then all of a sudden he not the guy. Then they draft the guy, and then they draft the guy. They play the guy the next year. Then he get hurt, and then Brock comes in. It's just year after year. Like it's just always something. So. I think the Niners don't have that situation going on. I think they know that Brock is the guy. They're gonna pay him whatever they come to the agreement. Both parties, he's gonna get paid. And I think even as the backup, there's no competition. There's no controversy. I think Sam Darnold has solidified the backup
Okay. All right. So
because
I'm going to ask this. If
you go back to the other previous years, you had the controversy at the backup spot. Trey Lance versus Sam Darnold, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
All right. I feel like every time Wayne talks to somebody, he on the verge of cussing them out. And so I never know what to expect. So with him being on mute, I'm like my heart is going do 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 do. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, y'all. Let's. Oh, never mind. He come back. It's cool. He's gonna pay a toll. Oh, was that a badge? Was that a cop? All right. So I was saying, you are still interpreting controversy as competition. If the Niners don't pay Brock this offseason, is it controversy? Or if
Yes.
Brock holds out, if he comes in, right, they wanted everybody there. They got most people there for the beginning of training camp and all that stuff. But then when it gets time for OTAs and all that stuff, if Brock leaves, is that officially quarterback controversy?
And Brock leaves? I mean, no. I guess. I mean, I don't think so. Because you got the guy, that's why you paid to have what you call it here. So I don't think it'll be controversy. If Brock decides when Brock's not gonna just leave, where you gonna go?
He gonna go. He gonna go home. If Brock Purdy is not satisfied, he don't get paid. It's a controversy. It's a quarterback. It's not a
I
competition, but
disagree.
it's a
I disagree.
controversy.
I disagree that it'll be a controversy because Brock's set to make he's still set to make 5 million. That doesn't mean he plays on that deal, but I don't think he goes home.
I know that you don't think he goes home. I said in my hypothetical he is going home. If his agent says, okay, you came in here for the practices and all that stuff, you did the voluntary stuff. Now we going home. We showed good faith. Now we're going home until they get this deal done.
Okay,
And
yeah,
Brock leaves.
then it's controversy. But maybe
Okay, all
George
right.
Kittle knows, maybe he feels like it's not going to be that.
Yes, and now we get into it. See, and I think George Kittle was spilling a little bit of the tea leaves here in this quote, and I like that. I like that. Let us know everything is going to be okay. John Lynch saying we might be number 2 in spending. We got $50 million more in cash that we got to spend to get there. George Kittle saying it's great to not have a quarterback controversy right here. And Lynch also saying there's a couple other guys that we are really close with getting deals done. That stuff gets me hyped. That gets me excited. But I want to ask you this now, because they're about to pay Brock Purdy, or we assume that they're going to pay Brock Purdy. My question to the chat right now, y'all just say yes or no. With the way that the 49ers roster is currently built and constructed, does Brock Purdy have enough pieces around him to make a deep playoff push? As the roster is currently constructed, I'm talking offense, I'm talking defense, I'm talking special teams, and yes, I'm including rookies in this conversation. You can think that they're going to be the best, you can think they're going to be the worst, but I want to know from the chat, and then when Wayne comes back, I want him to answer the question too. Does Brock Purdy have enough around him to make a deep playoff push with the current building of this roster?
I mean,
I'm saying
yeah, I don't see why you think that they wouldn't. I mean, the offense is back, minus Debo, minus Aaron Banks. So you drafted for Debo's replacement and Ricky Pearsall. You raved over what you liked about him toward the end of last year, so you're going to say yeah for that. And then you got to go with whoever's filling in for that left guard spot. I mean, we've had multiple guys kind of like fill in at that spot. So I feel like offensively, he's got the pieces. Defensively, I mean, it's hard to say because we just don't really know how these rookies are going to pan out. They drafted to stop the run. So you stop the run, you can rush the passer. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You stop the run, you can rush the passer. So, I mean, hypothetically, based off of the way that they attacked the draft, yes. And then they also, uh, it's funny because the Niners on the back end, they knew about the Mustafa injury. Makes sense why they signed two safeties in free agency and then drafted another one. So they were already prepared for that hole. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing how long Mustafa was going to be out. So look, I feel like the pieces are there. Him, the question is not about him having the pieces. I'm about to pay this motherfucker 50, $60 million. The question is, can he make these pieces work? And I feel like, yes, like that's what makes Brock tick. We've seen Brock under all types of adversity, and this is going to be the time where I don't think it's adverse. If he comes into camp and he works out with these guys, he builds the rapport with his offensive weapons. Brock's issue isn't his concern isn't the defense. His concern is building that rapport on the offense. Are the weapons there? For sure. Now we just need to see how it comes to fruition. You know what I'm saying? We
What
just need to
what
see it.
what what other rapport he need to build on offense? He know Kittle, he know Ayuk, he know Pearsall.
He
Like he
still he doesn't know Pearsall.
he knows CMC.
He doesn't know Pearsall. He was building with Pearsall. Now he's gonna get a full complete offseason with this wide receiver. It's totally different from last year. It's the kid coming in as a rookie and had all that adversity going against him. He doesn't know Pearsall. He knows of him, but he's gonna know Pearsall just like he got to know Brandon Ayuk that year when him and Brandon Ayuk spent the offseason together. That's what I mean. So the rapport is gonna be even stronger.
That's an interesting point. I like that. I like that. Okay. All right. There was two interesting comments that I saw in here. I wanted to run by you. Somebody in here said we went 6-11 with a better roster last year. What say you to that? Niner
How
goat.
do how do we go 6-11 with more? Let's just see. The best running back in football was on the IR for the beginning of the season. You replaced him with Jordan Mason, who wasn't the best running back end, but he was a good fit for the San Francisco 49ers. When they ran him, it was great. When they tried to do other things with him, the offense couldn't work. We couldn't convert on third downs. We couldn't score in the red zone. So how we have more? Like help me understand that. Brandon Ayuk not showing up to camp, contract controversy situation, that rapport was off. You could see it, like the timing, the rhythm. That's what I mean by rapport. Timing, rhythm, off. Couldn't really get going. Didn't have Ricky Pearsall. Had to deal Juwan Jennings, Debo Samuel. They were the guy. At the end of the day, I just feel like the San Francisco 49ers, they might have had better options at the wide receiving position. But the way the season ended, y'all wanted Debo Samuel on the first boat smoking a plane smoking out of town. So like he gone now. So I don't get it. Like the running back is back. You get CMC. We already know what he's gonna do in the running game and in the receiving game. I think that was missing.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was. It was. That was the
And
deception.
pass
That was the.
protection and mismatches and whatever you want to call it. It was like not having CMC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they traded for him because Kyle can unlock other levels to his offense. I think even with Trent Williams being gone, I still feel like the Niners' offensive line played fairly well. They weren't
Right.
great. They weren't great with Trent Williams neither. They were better with Trent, but they still held it down. We couldn't get to the outside zone though to save our life. That was that, and that was part because Jordan Mason is not an outside zone runner. Isaac Guerrero didn't know how to read the damn going block to cut to the outside. And so you're hoping that gets better too. Like just going into year two, you're just that's why I say I feel like he has the pieces. It's all about them coming together. Can he be the glue and put them all together?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. Hey, I think you spoke that very well. I love that you had. How are we better? I know what you wanted to say.
Are
I
you
know.
fucking kidding me?
I know
That's
what you
not
wanted to say.
what I wanted to say, man. Y'all crazy. You crazy.
How we had more last year? We had more injuries last year. It's cool. It's cool. I saw one more thing I want to run by you. All right, I'm gonna pop it up on the screen real quick. And this is Colin Coward sharing his what do you want to call this thing here? His NFC West predictions. And you guys see number 1, he has the Rams. Number 2, he has the Seahawks. Number 3, he has the Cardinals. And number 4, he has the 49ers. Now, I just got done asking all of us Niner fans if Brock Purdy currently has enough around him to make a deep playoff push. This guy don't even have the Niners making the postseason. Like, he's got us. This is actually the same exact position that the division ended in. Rams were number 1, Hawks were 2, Cardinals were 3, and we were last. Is this lazy football analysis by Colin? Just took it last year and purpose, or or do you think he might be onto something? We just did a breakdown of which team had the best draft, right? We just did that yesterday on your show. So that don't even coincide with this order. Like, where is he getting this from?
I mean, I think partly he's starting with quarterbacks, right? So he's saying that the 49ers got the worst quarterback in the division. I think that's where it starts, right?
Do you
And
agree with
then
that?
I disagree with that.
We
I
have the
don't give a
third best
what
quarterback in the division, right?
I think we got the second best quarterback in the division.
You taking Brock Purdy over Kyler?
I'm taking Brock Purdy over anybody other than Matthew Stafford.
Okay. All right, you can finish telling me why you think
I'm just
he's
saying,
it.
like, I mean, like, you could talk about the Niners having a bad record, but you can't sit here and tell me it's all because of Brock Purdy. I mean, how many close games did we lose by a field goal, by this, by that, by this, by that? So, like, at the end of the day, like, there's context to the Niners going 6-11. Part of it, I think, was part of the plan so they could draft at 11. But another thing is, like, my thing is, I just feel like this guy just hates the 49ers, and there are a lot of analysts out there that dislike the Niners, so they'll find a way to beat him down. But I didn't watch his show. I don't know what his context is. I don't know what he's saying about it. But just going off this list and me not being biased, I get it. The Rams finished first. They should be first. But the Seahawks, let's talk about the Seahawks. You're bringing in Sam Darnold, who you're hoping is going to have a type of season, which was losing in the playoffs as the Minnesota Vikings. Like that's what they're hoping. The Seahawks aren't even built that way. They're not. Sorry. When
Mm-hmm.
give Brock Purdy Justin Jefferson, bro.
Uh, okay.
Well,
All
no,
right.
say what you're gonna say. I'm just saying.
Because Brock Purdy's not going to use Justin Jefferson the way that Justin
I
Jefferson was used
disagree.
last year.
I
He's
disagree.
he's
Justin
not.
Jefferson wasn't even the burner downfield. So what you talking about? He was
It's
used across
it's
the
not
middle of the
about.
field. He was the
It's
use.
not
He
a.
was used. He was used, Mike, across the middle of the field. The majority of the season, the only time they used him to stretch the field was until Jordan Addison came back. As soon as they get Jordan Addison back, he goes back to being the guy down the field for Sam Darnold to unleash the cannon. Like, go back and watch the game.
It's
Like,
it's it's
I'm
not it's
sorry.
not about the depth of the targets for him. That's not where I was going with it. That's not where I was going with it at all. Right? Justin Jefferson will get passes thrown to him when he's blanketed 1-on-1 or when he's double covered, but he's got the on top leverage. Kyle Shanahan don't allow that in his system. Brock Purdy don't make those kind of throws
I,
in the
dis-
system.
I disagree because we did that with Brandon Ayuk. There was
You
times
have
Brandon
not.
Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk is not on. Look, Brandon Ayuk has been bracketed, and Brock's fit that ball in between the bracket every single, like the majority of the time, isn't a ball intercepted on Brandon Ayuk being not double covered but bracketed, right? Meaning that there's little shade from the safety over the over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like at the last piece of the second. I feel like Brock does that when he has that type of a wide receiver. I'm hoping that's what we get from Ricky Pearsall at the beginning of this season. Not saying they'll move off from Brandon Ayuk, but that would be really good if Pearsall can find holes in these coverages. But I don't think he's going to be the guy double covered. If I'm a defense, I'm coming out trying to stop the tank. Find a way to defend Jawan Jennings. I don't give a fuck if he not fast. All Brock got to do is throw it in this area. But go ahead and keep leaving him single covered if you want to. But I get what you're saying. I just feel like like if he had a guy like Justin Jefferson, you do more with a guy like Justin Jefferson. His skill set, his catch radius, his abilities are just on a different level, a level Kyle Shanahan has never probably experienced before. Maybe with Julio Jones, but they're even different.
You know, no, they're very. I just look at the scheme. It wasn't about Justin Jefferson. I don't think like there were points. There are multiple points in times in the game where you just know they throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson. I have
Mm,
never had that kind of confidence that Brock Purdy's throwing the ball to anybody on any given play.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, well,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
wait. Let me take that back. Let me take that back because I'm a little off. The last maybe 3 games of the season, maybe 4 games of the season, you knew when it was Jawan Jennings time. You could feel it. That
Mhm,
was probably the only time. But when you got Debo healthy and you had Aiyuk and you had Kittle, I never went into any situation saying, "Oh, this is
mhm,
a Debo play right here," unless Debo was behind the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like that's
mhm.
the only time I really thought it was going. So that's what I meant by Brock Purdy won't use Justin Jefferson that way. You could put him on this team and swap any receiver. I don't care if it's Aiyuk or
But
Pierce or whoever.
even if you don't use him that way though, Mike, the fact that he's gonna get double covered is the key.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whether you use him or don't use him, he's a decoy or he's taking 2 people every single play. Because if not, Brock Purdy, and you don't act like you don't remember Brock Purdy in man-to-man coverage, bro. Soon as he feels that there's man-to-man coverage, he's throwing the ball to whoever is in man-to-man coverage. He don't care what the receiver name is. That's his game. So if you had a guy like, and I'm saying that because that's what we saw in Minnesota from Sam Darnold. We do know Sam Darnold has a bigger arm, but he doesn't have those same type of weapons in Seattle. And yes, they drafted a wide receiver, and yes, they signed Cooper Cup, and yes, they got like yeah, but they're not. That's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. And again, I don't know till I see it, but this the Colin Hurd list, in my opinion, is based off of the quarterback play. And I feel like he felt Brock was the worst quarterback in the division last year. Therefore, the team's ranked worse.
Yeah, but it's 2 new divisions. He's a dumbass if that's what he did it by, because there's 2 new quarterbacks in the division. Brock, am I
But
wrong? Am
but
I
but no,
am I
no,
tripping?
you're not wrong. But they also have better records than Brock Purdy last year. Whether they're
Okay.
new to the
Oh,
division or
oh,
not,
okay. You look overall quarterback before, and he's counting wins as a quarterback stat.
correct. That's my
Okay.
thought. I don't know if I'm right,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just
Well,
what I
and
think.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. You know what I'm saying? I know that he's going to put that out there. That's going to be the headline, and Niner fans are going to come back with the pitchforks, right? Like, how dare you have us in last place? We favorites to win the
Absolutely.
NFC West right now, according to Baba. Like, we gonna go at them. We gonna go hard. We gonna give them all the praise and all that stuff. So it's a little crazy. It's a little weird, but you know, listen, man. That's all I got for us, man. I do want to ask you something that's not football related, though. And this is not to poke no bear or nothing like that, right? I haven't been watching a lot of the NBA playoffs, but here's what I do know about the Knicks. And 3 of the last 4 games that I saw them win, their team was trailing like 20 points in the third quarter. That's how they closed out that season, minus the very last game. I mean, that's how they closed out the last game, the last series.
Bro, the Knicks are a non-motherfucking factor, bro. If you want to sit there and talk about what they did last night, I got so many.
No. It's not about last night, but I know that y'all had a big lead in like the third quarter.
We had a big lead in the third quarter, and we can't. I mean, it's basketball. Like, why you keep shooting? If you're missing, why keep shooting? Let me ask you that question.
Well, because you can't start making unless you're shooting.
Or you just attack the basket and try to score a different way when they can't stop you in attacking the basket, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you had the philosophy of okay, let's just drive to the paint. You had 2 players in foul trouble early and you didn't stick to that game plan. So to me, bad shooting night. So you mean to tell me the Knicks had to do all that and the Celtics had to have a bad shooting night to lose by 3 in
Just to win
overtime?
about. Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. So how do you feel going forward? We done after this because we have our 30-minute mark. But
I'll say it
just
one more
you feel
time.
confident. Mm-hmm.
I ain't worried about no bum ass Knicks.
Okay. All
I'll
right. That's
leave it
going to
at
do it,
that.
man. All right. What's this? No harm, no foul. We live all.
Nope, no
Nope.
team is
Nope.
safe when the Niners are
I,
on the prowl. I'm Breezy. That's Mike. This is no harm, no foul.